Hey guys, I went to the store the other day to get bread and they were out. But I thought, well, that's okay because I can just make some bread at home. So first thing I want to do is, if you want to come help me, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups hot water. When you use a bread machine, you put in all your liquid ingredients first. So go ahead and put in 1 cup and then I'll give you a 1/4 more cup of hot water. And it's handy to just go ahead and have all your ingredients ready because you want your water to stay hot so that it will activate the yeast. And a 1/4 cup olive oil.
Wow.
And a 1/4 cup honey. Then we'll start adding our flour. I went ahead and measured out 4 cups. You've already got your wet ingredients in here. So now you're just going to add your dry ingredients right on top of it. What I like about this recipe, you can make this into hamburger buns. You can add different seasonings and make rolls of some kind. Dinner rolls, Italian rolls. Okay, now we're going to put 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. So now we're just adding all the dry ingredients. And we're going to add our yeast. And it calls for 1/4 ounce, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast.
How many?
2 1/4.
Oh.
We add the yeast last. Now what we're going to do is just shut the lid down there, babe. On my machine it says bread select, and it's the dough, which is all the way at the bottom, and it takes 1 hour and 20 minutes. And so just push start. Now I don't walk away just yet. This will take 1 hour and 20 minutes, but I don't walk away yet. What I do is I watch the dough inside here, and sometimes I'll have to add a little bit more flour, and it ends up being probably about 4 1/2 cups, but I hate to add it all at the first because I don't want the bread to be too dry. You want the bread to be moist and not too dry. So when it's mixing in the mixer, it'll start mixing up and it'll form a ball of dough inside the bread machine. And you want to be able to touch it with your finger and it not stick to your finger, but it should still feel moist. So it's mixing, and as you can see, it's still very wet. So we're going to go ahead and add about 1/2 more cup of flour. Just shake it right over the top of it. When they have to add more, we'll just keep watching it for a few minutes. Starting to pull together. See there? See how it's still clinging to the sides though over here? That means it's still too moist. Touch the top here and see. Yeah, it's still moist, but it's not coming off big globs on my finger. Now we'll shut the lid down and let this finish out the dough cycle. And like I said, this will take 1 hour and 20 minutes to do the whole cycle. It will rise in here and then it will stir down and beep. And when it stirs down and beeps is when we'll come back in here and check it and put it in our pans. Okay, it's looking good. It's rising. Still got a little time left to go though, and we'll come back and check on it when it gets done. Okay, so it's beeped. It's finished rising. When it finishes rising, it spins down and makes it fall back down again. And so what I do is I take this out, and I have prepared 2 pans over here. These are 3x7 pans, and you see that comes right out very cleanly. And I have sprayed these pans with non-stick cooking spray. I've sprinkled a little bit of flour here just to lay this on. And all I'm going to do is just kind of coat this a little bit to make it easy to separate. And then I'm going to divide this dough in half. Now at this point, if you didn't want to make loaf bread, if you wanted to make hamburger buns or rolls, that's where you would pinch this off into say 24 or 36 balls of dough, put them on your pans and let them rise. But what we're going to do, we're making loaf bread, so I'm just going to try to divide this in half best I can. And in this sprayed pan. And then we're going to let it sit here and rise for about 30 or 45 minutes till it's double, and then we'll bake it. Okay, so our bread has risen. It looks beautiful. We've got the oven set on 375 degrees. So we're going to put it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. It'll be golden brown on top and beautiful. Okay, now we wait. Okay, the bread's done. As you can see, I did not get it separated evenly into the pans. That loaf looks normal, and this loaf looks
huge,
extremely tall. Beautiful brown, golden, and crusty. We'll let it cool for just a few minutes here, and then I will take a knife and go around the edge of the loaf and then put it out on this rack to finish cooling. It needs to cool completely before we cut it. Okay, we're gonna cut the bread. It's cool. I can still feel it's slightly warm, but we're gonna go ahead and cut it. Oh, beautiful.